The Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes was published in 1651 and is considered to be one of the most important works in political philosophy ever since then. This book contains 4 parts and deals with the civil state as a supreme form of government necessary to fulfill proper social existence grounded on peace and prosperity. The first part introduces the reader to Hobbes' psychology of human behavior and thinking. Hobbes is a materialist and believes that our understanding and consciousness are products of our perceptions of the external world, which we use as basis to reason on. This aspect is important in order to understand that for him, without a state, so external government, there is no possibility to achieve the supreme goals of peace and prosperity. The framework in which humans exist must be shaped in ways to allow for a specific way of living. That is because humans live according to the right of nature. The right of nature is the liberty each man hath to use his own power, as he will himself, for the preservation of his own nature, and consequently of doing anything which is his own judgment and reason. Now, it won't take long time to figure out that this means that interests between humans will soon cause conflict and chaos. This contradicts what Hobbes calls, on the other hand, the fundamental law of nature, which forbids self-destruction and requires peace and prosperity as the highest moral good. Now, if we regard humanity as an organism, a society, even a community, if you want so, the right of nature, which is the strive of unlimited liberty by the individual, will consequently destroy humanity. To avoid this, individuals need to unite under a Commonwealth. In the second part, Hobbes introduces the system of Commonwealth as the condition under which peace and prosperity is guaranteed. The Commonwealth is created by covenant between individuals that have decided by their own deliberation to transfer parts of their right of nature for rules that allow for the law of nature, which aims at preservation, peace, and prosperity. These rules are created and enforced by the form of government which the Commonwealth has taken. That can be monarchy, aristocracy, or democracy. Hobbes himself favored monarchy. So in giving up the right of nature, individuals become citizens by transforming these rights into power, which is given to the highest instance, the sovereign, in their newly formed government, which is either a monarch or an assembly. The responsibility is to enforce the laws of nature, which enables peace and prosperity, and formulate civil laws that aim at their preservation. The law of nature and the civil law contain each other and are of equal extent. For the laws of nature, which consist in equity, justice, gratitude, and other moral virtues, on these depending in the condition of mere nature, are not properly laws, but qualities that dispose men to peace and obedience. When a commonwealth is once settled, then are they actually laws, and not before, as being then the commands of the commonwealth, and therefore also civil laws, for it is the sovereign that obliges men to obey them. So because humans will destroy each other if liberty is let to unfold, they have to accept a covenant between each other that transfers their rights to full liberty to the commonwealth they have formed. The commonwealth is, and this is now very important, represented by a sovereign. The sovereign does not represent the citizens. He or she represents the state. The sovereign's main duty is to represent and enforce the state and its civil and laws of nature, which preserve and enable peace and prosperity. The state is hence the Leviathan, a great being which has come into existence by the mere idea and imagination of humans, while being itself ferocious and unresistible in claiming its self-preservation. The remaining parts of Hobbes' book address the issue of the Church's claim on power and government. The main one being that even though Hobbes himself believed in God, no one could ever be sure or properly prove that they had access to the word of God by divine connection. That was what the Church, its Pope and its bishops and priests believed. In addition, he condemns the abuse of holy scriptures, which has led to more manipulation and less enlightenment among the people. For Hobbes, the idea of the state, the Leviathan, and its erection was itself of divine nature, and if one were to truly follow the word of God, one would oblige oneself to contribute to its construction and preservation, because the state is the only thing that can guarantee peace and prosperity among humanity.